Hey there, I'm Tammy here at All About Living, and today I'm going to show you how to make homemade chicken and rice pilaf and Johnny cakes. I haven't had Johnny cakes in a while, and they just sounded good to me today, and so that's what we're having. Pilaf, you need essentially 5 ingredients. You need some rice, you need some orzo pasta, some broth of some kind. I'm using my homemade veggie broth, but you can use chicken broth or you can use plain water. I mean, it's up to you and it's what you have. I have a can of chicken. I had some leftover chicken that I had planned to use, but Randy ate it. So, canned chicken tonight because I didn't have any leftover chicken. And you'll need some butter and just a little olive oil, which, there it is. Okay. And then just a little olive oil. And these ingredients over here are for my Johnny cakes, and we'll get to that after we get the pilaf started. Alright guys, if y'all have watched any of our videos, you know that I like a hot pan. So we are going to start, but we're going to go with a medium-high flame. And we're going to get this pan nice and hot before I ever put anything in it. That prevents a lot of sticking and heartache. Alright, while that pan's getting hot, I want to talk to you for a second. What we try to do on our channel is teach you how to use staple pantry ingredients, minimal and cost-effective, that tastes good. You know, most of them are real down-home country meals because that was the way I was raised and that's how I know how to cook. But I do throw in a Mexican dish here and there, a Chinese dish here and there. You know, as long as it fits the criteria of it doesn't cost a whole lot of money, it doesn't have a whole lot of ingredients, and it tastes good. Now, let's get, my pan's good and hot. Let's start adding ingredients. We're going to start with just a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. Okay, you see that shimmering? My pan's good and hot. I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of butter. Alright, I'm going to get a half a cup of orzo pasta. I normally break up like thin spaghetti or something, like if I'm making mamaroni, but I had the orzo, it was on sale somewhere, and I picked it up, and so that's what we're going to use tonight. And I'm going to use 1 cup of white long grain rice. My butter's getting brown, so I need to start stirring. And when my orzo starts to turn brown, now every piece of orzo does not have to be brown, but we do want a nice, good browning so our pilaf is pretty. I always want to serve, you know, you can make meals that aren't necessarily the greatest, but if they look good, everybody enjoys them anyway, just because they look good. I put a little too much butter in there, but that's okay. Butter's good. Okay. Y'all, I might have put a little too much butter in here, but that's okay. Butter never hurt anybody. Alright, now you can see that, how brown that orzo got. That's what I'm looking for. So now it's time to add your broth or water or whatever you have for liquid. It was good and sealed. Okay, now that I've made a mess. Alright. We need 2 cups of broth for 1 cup of rice. And then about a half a cup, or maybe 2/3 of a cup, to account for that orzo. And we're going to let that come up to a boil. Like I said, I'm going to just give that a stir, and then I'm going to let it come up to a boil. Actually, it'll boil a little faster if I put the lid on it. So let's get it on up there. And then while that's going, I'm going to open my chicken. Okay, we've got a good boil. I'm going to drop that chicken. I'll give that a stir. Let it come back up to a boil. Alright, now we've come to a really good rolling boil. We're just going to turn that down. Ooh. Yep, I didn't turn it off. Turn it down on low and just let it cook until, it'll probably take somewhere between 15 and 20 minutes. And all your liquid will be absorbed and you will have rice pilaf. Now let's get started on our Johnny cakes. Okay, for your Johnny cakes, you'll need some salt, some sugar, some white cornmeal, oil of your choice. I'm going to use bacon grease because I have it, but you can use vegetable oil or olive oil, whatever you like. Butter, you can even use butter, and some milk. That's going to make up our Johnny cake, so let's get started with that. All right, the very first thing you need to do to make your Johnny cakes is not let your fire go out. Alright, now I forgot to tell you about the water. You're going to need a cup of boiling water. So we're going to get that started and we're going to get that up to a good boil and then we'll start our Johnny cakes. Okay, let's get started mixing our ingredients because my water's boiling now so we can start working on the stuff in our bowl. Alright, we're going to take that white cornmeal and I need 1 cup. I just need a couple of teaspoons of sugar. Need a half a teaspoon of salt. We're going to give that a good mix. Now we're going to get that water. We're going to get that 1 cup of hot boiling water. And we're going to drop that in. We're going to give that a good stir. Okay, I've got that all incorporated. Oh, now I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of some kind of oil of your choice. Or butter, you could use butter. But bacon grease has a flavor all its own. So that's my favorite. And then I need 1/4 a cup of milk. We're going to give that a stir. And it's going to be pretty soupy. we're going to let it sit for between 5 and 10 minutes and let it thicken up. Okay, I came over here and looked at my pilaf, and you see all these little divots? That means that the water has absorbed, so I've turned my eye off. I'm not going to lift the lid. I'm just going to let it finish cooking in that residual heat. Alright, I pulled out my handy dandy skillet just because it's more convenient and they're nice and uniform when I use the skillet, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to use some of this icky spray that I don't particularly love, but it works. So we're going to spray that skillet, and then we're going to pour this batter by the 1/4 cup right into that pan. Okay, and this is a really light, runny batter because it's going to make like a lacy cornbread top. That's what a Johnny cake is. It's really lacy. See how the outside, it's lacy. Okay, what you're looking for is for all this lacy on the outside to turn brown, and you don't want to flip it or move it or anything until you see that brown on the outside. Okay, see how brown on the outside that is? Now it's time to flip, and it should just be really easy. See there? They should just lift right up and flip. Nice golden brown. Alright, look there, it just slides right off. My lacy cornbread or Johnny cake is ready. Now we're going to add a little butter. Because what's life without butter? Now we're going to get our pilaf. Oh, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Beautiful, inexpensive, and oh, so good. Look at there.